Hi, my name is Bart Van Rooyen, and I am the Bishop of the Diocese of Corner Brook and Labrador. Thank you for joining me today on this teaching on the Mass. Today I want to focus on the penitential rite at the beginning of Mass. One that begins, brothers and sisters, let us acknowledge our sins so that we may prepare ourselves to enter into the sacred mysteries. Now that line is very important, that in a sense we acknowledge our sins so that we may enter into the sacred mysteries. When I was very young, I had someone complain to me. They said, at the beginning of Mass, the focus is right away on our sins. It's always the negative. Why are we always starting that way? It doesn't bring much joy to the Mass. It already is a downer, for all of us. Of course, this person would probably be less amused at the fact that, we've gone back to hitting our chest when it comes to the Confiteor. But there's something to be said about starting with the acknowledgement of our sins. As I've mentioned earlier, what we're doing at Mass is we're entering into the very sacrifice of Christ on the cross. He did that for our sins. He did it because indeed there was a need. We start the Mass focusing on our need for Him. And so we acknowledge our sins, not so that we can, in a sense, delve deep into them or dwell on them, but to realize that, wait a second, I need that which is being celebrated. I need the very gift of Jesus on the cross that is made present to us in this Eucharist. And so indeed, in order to enter into it, I need to acknowledge that yes, there is something in me that requires God's saving mercy. And so it reminds us that, it reminds us that we need to have sorrow for that which we have done. It reminds us that we draw confidence in God's mercy. When we say, Lord, have mercy, it's not as if somehow we do so without hope. When we say, Lord, have mercy, we ask that, we say that because indeed we know we will receive. We are celebrating the very gift of God's mercy. Now, those who, have attended a lot of Masses that I've celebrated, people will know that I prefer the formula, the threefold penitential rite. The one that goes, you were sent to heal the contrite of heart, you came to forgive sinners, you are seated at the right hand of the Father to intercede for us. That's because I like those three sentences. And I can enter into them again and again. Each day, it doesn't matter how often I repeat them, because in a sense, it's all about contrition of heart. It's all about Him calling us from among sinners, that we are sinners. He calls us from that state, and He is the one who intercedes for us at the right hand of the Father. In a sense, I can draw confidence in the fact that He is there on my side. And so I like going back to that particular formula often because, I have a particular affection towards it. To me, it expresses in a full way that which indeed we find in the very gift of Himself on the cross. But, no matter the formula we use, during Lent, I always go back to the Confiteor because, in a sense, it is that acknowledgement of our personal sin, and that acknowledgement that we need the prayers of the saints and we need the prayers of the community. Brothers and sisters, pray for me. We need to, in a sense, draw together in our journey towards the Easter mysteries. And no matter what the formula we use, it's important for us to realize that, we are not untouched. Meaning we don't go there saying, oh, well, yeah, it's good you did that for others, or you did that in, theoretically for us as human beings, but that we can fully enter into the mystery and realize, you did that for me. I hope that's helpful. I hope you will join me again next week as we reflect on another portion of the Mass and hopefully make it more and more our own.